disasters that are happening in Japan with the tsunamis and earthquakes, we can't really focus too much on that. The world's attention is all to the nuclear power plants, which are having malfunctions. Words of a meltdown are being thrown around, and in the nuclear power plants, words of a meltdown are being thrown around, and it's putting fear into the world's population. Nuclear energy is the way of the future, the way energy is going to be ran. And in this speech, I will inform you on how nuclear energy operates. I will inform you on how nuclear energy is produced. I will inform you on how are the safety precautions taken when using nuclear energy. And I will also inform you on the worst case scenarios when with nuclear energy. My first point is I will inform you on how nuclear energy is produced, and that is when atoms or fission, they split up and they produce energy, which is nuclear energy. And it is produced in a form of heat. And when more atom fragments hit other atoms, they split off, producing more heat. And this produces nuclear energy. 440 commercial nuclear power plants are built throughout the U.S. and 59, or throughout the world, and 59 are under construction. 12 to 18% of electricity is ran off nuclear energy, and less than 100 carbon dioxide is used with nuclear energy compared to coal or gas plants. And my second point is I'll talk to you about the safety precautions taken when using nuclear energy. The NRC is the Nuclear Regularity Commission, which is they go over the construction plans for nuclear energy plants. They make sure everything's updated and thoroughly checked with the nuclear power plants. The U.S. NRC also goes to checks for those employees are being trained, and they also make sure that the employees are being trained and the faculties are in great shape. Also, uranium is what produces nuclear energy, and when that's no longer in use, it's still very radioactive. And so, in order to, they either store it at the faculty, or they move it to a storage faculty, and they put it in this container that's tested through fire. It's got to be set on fire for 30 minutes to see if it can last a fire, and it has to be dropped from 30 feet onto flat or unflat surfaces to make sure its durability could hold the uranium with the radioactivity inside of it. It's also put underwater to make sure no leaks or anything could seep through. And though we have all these safety procedures and safety precautions, natural disasters are one thing that we could only build a plant to handle so much. With earthquakes, each power plant is built with a seismic detector. So when an earthquake happens, the plant will come to an automatic safe shutdown. And the same thing with fires, they come with a safe shutdown, and fire barricades and fire barriers for none of the wires or anything will be damaged. And since September 11th, America requires that 104 of their nuclear power plants have armed guard forces. They have fences and barricades to protect for either an airplane or ground attacks. I will also inform you on worst case scenarios when using nuclear energy. A nuclear meltdown has been thrown around a lot, and a meltdown is when the fuel rods melt water is constantly being pumped through, circulated through the pumps, and when this cooling system goes out, it causes the fuel rods to melt and drip into the and possibly drip into the core. Chernobyl was one of the worst accidents that the world's had. What had happened was they were doing a test on a reactor, reactor number 4, to see if it could still pump, if it could still circulate while in the shutdown until the generators kicked in. And what happened was they expected an unexpected power surge happened, and the cooling systems went down, and it caused the fuel rods to melt and release the cloud radiation into the sky. And by mid-2005, there were fewer than 60 deaths related to Chernobyl. Most of them were workers, and some children grew up with thyroid cancer. Another one was the 3 Mile Island, which was not so bad. Not too many people. Nobody was injured or reported injured or deaths to the 3 Mile Island. What had happened was one of the reactors went out and radiation and iodine were released. It wasn't too. The owner of the power plant said it wasn't too much of a problem, but when the NRC got there and inspected it, they evacuated around the power plant to make sure nothing was just a safety precaution. And right here I got this is Chernobyl. What happened with Chernobyl and the power plant, and this is 3 Mile Island. And these are whether these are true or not, these are reactions to what happened with the nuclear energy. And a lot of people see this and they get that fear in them, and that's exactly what the nuclear energy and nuclear power plants, with the meltdown, they have that fear to put into people. So, in this speech, I informed you on how nuclear energy is produced. I also informed you on the safety precautions taken when using nuclear energy, and I also informed you on worst-case scenarios with nuclear energy.